Hello guys, welcome back. I'm your friend InSXO. For the last time, we have set up the Flutter development environment. Now we're going to merge our existing data. Why do that? Because for the project that we will try to build is actually based on an old project of mine. It's called Freedom. And for that project, I have used the JavaScript, the React, and the Python together to build an Android application. For the old data structure, for the older structure, the whole project structure quite simple. First, I have used the React Native to build the front end part. Then I have used the Python to build the back end part. And in the end, it looks like this here. Freedom. This is how it looks like. For today, it will show you the same day, but across many years of your life. And in span of the history, we can add more in this screen. We could add some tag, example hello, and we could choose some image from our mobile phone. And if we feel happy about this, could hit the save button. For example, now if I hit the save button, you will see that image just appears on the last of the view with the current time and the tag. We can even do a search for our diary. For example, could say new, hit the enter button. It should return us a lot of diaries with the keyword new existing. So it's very useful for me because I have to manage my thoughts in a technical way. Otherwise, I will forget about all those thoughts I used to have, and that'll be a lose for me. And also, I just want to say I do not trust any of the third-party services in this world. I only trust myself, so that's why I make this application. I just want to save the data in a more security way, in my hand. So let's start our journey. For this case, as you can see, we got our raw data. Basically, we got 4 types of data. The first type is called DY diary. It's a very old application that made by me. I almost let's say spend 3 or 4 years to write diary in with that application. If we go into it, if we check out the diary tag, you see it's a quite simple way of storing data. I just started in a pure text field with basically the time and the content. For this, it should be quite simple. We shouldn't worry about it. And the second one, it also has a very simple data structure and even justified or serialized for us. For example, the first item is the time, and the second is the type of software. Doesn't have any meanings for now. The third one is the content, but for now it has a strange string encoded. I don't know why this would happen. And the third last is a last of images with base64 encoded string. This one should be simple because we already have a JSON file. Let's go to the next one. The next one is called QZone. At a Chinese service. I have a backup on all those data. For this one, it's also quite simple. We have the data, we have the message. Okay, I even have the Twitter data. Although I think it's not necessary to do a backup for Twitter because Twitter already open enough for us. If you want your data, you can always download it. It has no limitations. Okay, let's get started. First, we need to create a Python file, and I'm going to call it more data. Before we go to any further, I just want to tell you one thing, that we do not need the QZone, we do not need the Twitter because I'm still in using the two services. Data for both of them are still growing, so we cannot achieve it for now. So I'm going to delete it. But for the carry diary, fine, because I have abandoned that application, so we can read it and print it out the results and do a parse. Oh, I even wrote a script to save all those data into a SQLite database, but I don't think necessary for now. For now, all we need is a JSON file. So let's print out the days. Oh, the lot. For this case, we couldn't be able to see the structure of our data. So how can we do it in a better way? Let's say from auto everything that Python import Python, then py equal to Python. What we want to do is use py.print to print out the days. For this case, it will show it in a better way. But that's still not enough. Let's set the limit to 10. It's still too much. Let's just show the first 10 elements. Okay, for this case, we can get the time, we can get the type, and we can get the content, and in the end, a list of image. But we don't have image. This is a basic structure for it, but it's not so intuitive. Let's say we want to have a list, right? And we also we want to have a dict. For example, a dict equal to an empty dict, and for this dict, you should have the data that, to be honest, so that equal to that, contents equal to the tag, and for each term, maybe we should type also fine. So for the type, it should be py diary, and should also have keyword called images. For this case, just empty last, because for this very old application do not have images inside of that. And for each day, we add such a dict to a last, and in the end, print out some scenarios. Okay, for now you would say it's very good. For each day, we can get the data, we can get the content, we can get the images, and we also could be able to get the py diary keyword. Fine. So this is for the py diary part. And again, let's go to my. For this one, we also have a script variable in there, but I don't want to use it, so let's start a new one. Okay, and I'm gonna call it the new parser. For this parser, what it does is to let's say first it needs to read the JSON file, which is mine.json. For this case, it would get a pure text, something like this. But that's not okay. We need to convert it to an object, so or data. For now would be equal to we need to import JSON first. So our data equal to JSON that node from the text. Okay, for now we got our data. Wait a minute. Also, okay, we should also use the py model to print out the data. And for now, as you can see, we got the structure right in here. So for this one, we still need to do a transversion from this kind of data structure to the structure that we need. So let's do a loop. For each one, or for each in the data, we will say new data append a dictionary. For this dictionary, it got to have a dat, and for the dat, it should be the first element of each element. Then we need the type. The type, it should be mine. And also should have a content. For this content, let's say it should be 1, 2, 2. And then again, we need a last of images, so 3. Alright, and for this case, we could do it again. We could say py print with the new data. I want to say here we go, got it. That content, image, and the type. Perfect. And for now, what we really want to do is merge two kind of data together. Well, how can we do that? If we got a database, we probably could save all those data into our database. But for now, we don't have such a scene. All we have is a code. So I'm going to copy all those code into this file so that we could get two JSON files and do a merge. To do this, we just need to select all those code blocks, then click the copy button here, and we will just paste it into our new file. And from here, we probably need to change the path of this. So it should be raw data and UI diary. Okay, that's awesome. For here, I'm gonna say one data or data one equal to days. Okay. Then we go to the new parser, another one, do a selection for those old code, and we do a copy. And in here, do a pass. Again, all we need to do is change the path of that and run all those code. Finally, we say data2 equal to the new data. Okay, now since we got two kinds of data in our memory, ordinary inside of our computer memory, now we should do a merge. For example, the final data would be equal to data1 plus data2. In the end, we just need to save it to a local storage. I have kind of forget about the dumps function. I just wanna say py help with the JSON dumps. This is a help documentation for us. First, we need an object, then we need a path for saving it. Okay, so JSON dumps data and a path for saving it. Let's say data.json. Dumps takes one positional argument. Okay, so let's say text equal to this. Then we're gonna say IO, that's right. First the text, then the path, or first the path, second the object. Let's say data.json, and we save it. As you can see here, we got a JSON data all around inside of that. To be honest, I'm quite proud for what I used to think about the word. You know, all those words, they somehow remind me the old me, the diligent, hard work kind of guy that I was. Okay, that's it. I have determined to finish this course or this series of videos because it's really very important for me to keep my brain active. Okay, that's the end of this task. I will see you in the next one. Bye.